that's
But I try other
fine.
characters. Yeah, yeah, I know. But
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I saw the context that you gave your Metafy, basically. It's actually, I think it's more than fine for you to actually OCP Lucio. I mean, at the current
yeah,
time, where it's like you're not in team play, that's where it becomes problematic, but right now, no one's banning Lucio. If you can get away with it, that's fine.
yeah,
So,
that's fine.
and I always say, like, in fact, I have to give the opposite advice to people sometimes, where it's like, the hero pool's too broad, such that they don't know how to play Lucio in this case,
Hmm.
or any character in suboptimal situations, which again makes them worse at improving at the characters. So I'm actually fine with you
Yeah, for
OTP
sure,
Lucio.
for
Okay,
sure.
we'll see how this pans out because already just based on the map geometry, and generally what this map entails, this is already going to be a
Yeah,
suboptimal. Yeah, it's already going to be a little bit of a
I don't
tough
really
map for
like
you.
that map, but like
Right.
since my team went Genji, Doom, Kiriko, I want to try the new changes. I saw they changed a few places, so it's like easier to get around with the character. I want to also to see, but usually I don't like.
Right.
Like
Okay.
usually I go Kiriko or something else, or I just don't play this map. Like I vote for something else.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually gonna make a brief comment about whether you guys wanted to actually vote Parisa in, but you know, it is what it is. So we'll see how this pans out here. What are you generally looking for when you're playing Lucio? Either again with this comp and also against the enemy comp too. What are things that you can do?
Yeah, that's the thing I want to learn about compositions with Lucio.
Right.
Sometimes I don't know what to do when I'm playing dive,
Okay. Okay.
especially Doomfist or Ball.
All right.
Sometimes
So what
Winston
does?
is a little bit easier.
All right. I mean, with all three of those characters, actually, what is your Doomfist looking to do? We'll start from there.
He's looking for to go like build his charge so he can look for a kill.
Right, so what this guy will do, he'll often soft engage. I'm not going to explain
Yeah,
in too much in depth, right? But he'll try and get some kind of advantage with his
I've seen
impact
some
punch.
guides. I know
Right.
this. Like
So how can you enable that essentially? And that's actually the question that you need to be sort of asking yourself the entire time when you're playing Lucio, not just in dive but any comp. Is how can
yeah,
I enable what this guy wants to do? What this guy wants to do? So what can you do?
maybe speed them before they engage.
Right?
Not exactly.
So you can make that help them on the rotate stage or like when they rotate
Yeah.
slash stage. What else can you do? What might these guys want to do
Um.
against that?
Oh, stop them, of
Stop them,
course.
right?
I
So
mean,
what? How
and
can
bulk
you?
by distance too, because of the widow maybe. But their team is
Right.
kind of weird too. So
So any opportunity that you can get, so it's going to be lesser Widowmaker, right? Because you can't really contest Widowmaker. But any
yeah,
time that you see maybe a Ryan pinning in to prevent a Doomfist, you're going to hear me say prevent a lot. But anytime you see any of their characters, again, Reinhardt, ideally it's going to be Genji most likely, try and
hmm,
stop or prevent the staging from your Doomfist or your Genji, you need to be there. Or even your Cassidy as well,
yeah,
because of course your Cassidy wants a good angle on the dive itself as well. So that's really the main thing in the pre-fight that I'm seeing is
hmm,
how can I speed around and prevent anyone from stopping my Doomfist, Genji, and Cassidy from staging and getting a good angle. In the mid-fight is where things get a little bit
yeah,
more complicated because you've got a
yeah, exactly.
variety of different options. You can either, again, depending on what their Ryan does, maybe the Ryan pins in and tries to go into your Cassidy for some reason, then you can disable the Ryan, not boop him away.
Hmm.
Maybe the Widow's in a killable position. Maybe your Doomfist goes in the Widowmaker, your Genji goes in the Widowmaker, and you see a trigger or an opportunity to go on the Widowmaker. Maybe you see your Cass on a really good angle, so maybe, for example, I mean, it's less applicable in this map because the map's so open.
A lot of it in and out, right? Going in and out, helping teammates and
Exactly,
finish
right?
off kills maybe. Yeah,
And
okay.
that's like the really hard thing is that when we get into the mid fight, there's going to be two, three, maybe even four things you can do, and it's identifying which one of those four things or which one of those X things is the most
Yeah.
optimal thing to do, and also sometimes how can you overlap doing two things or multiple things at once, basically.
Hmm.
The answer to that very vaguely is aggression. How aggressive is the target being, and how many triggers do you have to be able to play aggressively or disable triggers from the enemy team on their ends. But it's better explained visually than vocally. So we'll get into the
Yeah.
game and see how that pans out. All right,
I remember this game I was really focused to try to speed my teammates,
right,
and
right.
the enemy Lucio was playing really passive. He was
Mm.
swinging a lot and poking a lot. I remember.
Right. I think it's
That's what I
important.
remember.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I think that the heal thing with Lucio, or like standing up and healing, the only time I've seen that is in Lucio Judo comps where you heal amp and you get ring, so you get insane ult
Yeah.
charge. But barring that, I haven't seen any insane Lucio healing things. I mean, I've seen teams I've coached before have had Lucios that play like Zen, sometimes I say, and it's really not beneficial to anyone. But yeah, we'll see how this pans out here. All the more power to you if the Lucio's not going to play, that aggressively or not hold that much space. But yeah. Okay, so you know, go Widow, Ryan, NG, okay.
I try maybe looking for a boop or something.
Yeah,
that
that's
time.
somewhat fine. I don't. That's reasonable. I don't mind that. Unfortunately, your Kiwi dies there. Nothing much you could have done to prevent that. So far, nothing crazy. All I just be paying attention to is again what your Doomfist is doing right now, which is being aggressive.
Going for the Widow.
Right, and you can see how much attention he's pulling away. Right, like there's 3 different. One, he's soon probably the Genji to be honest. But at least 1, 2. That's the highlight. So 1, 2, 3 people he's pulling away, and maybe 4 as well. So we'll see how you can sort of enable that or help out your Doomfist. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about that a little bit there as well, right?
Yeah.
So
we should have gone like earlier, or maybe I don't know.
I think what you do, so the rollout here is fine in terms of again you getting to high ground here. It's more so how can you help out your Doomfist without putting yourself at direct risk. And I think here you're just not aware of the Lucio. That's literally just it. Like you're just not aware of him. He boops you away.
Yeah,
into open space, right? And then you kind of get caught out by him. I don't think there's anything in hindsight or anything that you could have really done with the knowledge that you have right now in the moment to sort of change that up. In fact, if anything, you kind of want to be playing for the trade because your Kiriko's dead. So I don't mind if you play excessively aggressive, but nothing crazy this first fight. Honestly, I probably would have committed for the kill into the Widowmaker having seen your Kiriko die. Because he needs to find trades.
But at that time I didn't notice her. I focused on my Doomfist because it was critical. Yeah, that's what happened there.
Right. That's interesting.
I just realized she was there. Not that
really?
you mentioned. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the first question becomes why were you so attentive to your Doomfist?
Because it was critical. So like it was a big thing saying he critical. Right. So that's the first thing I saw. Right. And that's the thing I was going for this. Like since this team is very good for Lucio and like he's meant to speed his teammates. That's what I was thinking. I was generally just looking at my teammates most of the time.
Yeah, I find that interesting because you don't directly help Doom. Like you can help Doomfist without looking at him. Yeah, is the point.
That's one thing I wanted to know because like I don't know the fine base when I have to help my teammates sometimes.
Right.
I find it hard, especially with dive. Sometimes. Sometimes it works out. I don't know how it works out, but sometimes it doesn't.
So yeah, this happens a lot with not just Lucio, but main supports in general. In fact, I was coaching a brig the other day who struggled with a very similar thing about having to keep track of every teammate, keep track of a flank, keep track of what their team's doing, keep track of getting inspired, keep track of when to walk, all things like that. The general advice or the starting advice I gave was whenever you do an action, you regain awareness or you look around a little bit so you know what you're doing. So right here in this example, you see your Doom go in, punch in, right? So you're wall riding to him right now, and you know that he needs help, which is good, right?
Yes.
But that's literally just it, because you know that if you get to this around this kind of area here, you're gonna roughly give or take help him out to some extent, right? You haven't got to look at him anymore. You can regain awareness of the fight and start looking at the Widowmaker, who is, again, for your all intents and purposes right now, is actually fairly killable. Right?
Right? And the Genji was also closed.
Yeah. Your Genji was also going on top of the Widowmaker as well. And that's kind of the thing. It's not tunneling on a single thing. And when you've already done something, i.e. you've already helped out your Doomfist, or you've already wall-rided to your Doomfist, or wall-rode to your Doomfist, then you can regain awareness and start doing something else. And then after you kill the Widowmaker, then you can regain awareness again, and then
Also, something that I struggle with is generally helping my DPSs. Like usually I know how to help my tank a lot, my support, maybe marking like a tracer or a sombra. I like to do that a lot.
Right.
I like to do the 1v1 sometimes.
Right.
But I'm not saying I can also peel for them, just speed my tank. But sometimes I can't help my DPS sometimes.
So it depends the type of aggression your DPS is taking. So if I look at your Genji here.
Okay, he's just right beside her, so.
Yeah, I mean your Genji right now, he's gonna go into the Widowmaker. That's the one Genji. He's gonna go on. He's going on Widowmaker anytime soon. It depends. Like if your Genji's dueling a tracer, for example, it's the exact same thing as you just mentioned, right? It's booping the tracer away, marking the tracer, making sure that she's getting 1v2'd. In a situation like this, honestly, your Genji's not taking that much aggro. Only thing is this is the Lucio, really, to be honest. All you can do is just again contribute to killing the Widowmaker. Heal the Genji with just your aura, And
Yep.
that's all really you can do because your character's not built for directly helping out a single teammate. Again,
Yeah.
like I mentioned at the beginning, it's doing multiple things at once is what your character's really good at, and kind of doing a little bit of everything.
Multitasking, yes.
Exactly right. So that's what I would have liked to actually see runabouts is amp speed in and then try and go for the Widowmaker, and then of course you can switch to healing when your Genji
Yeah,
goes
maybe
on top
this
of it.
time I probably should have like just ignored my Doom because my Kiriko was dead anyways, so maybe I
Right,
wouldn't
right,
be able
right.
to help him
Yeah,
anyways,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, now that I think about it, maybe that was a play.
There's a thing called sunk cost fallacy, which is the more resources you put into something like time or money or whatever, right? The
Hmm.
more likely you are to stick with that certain thing. So for example,
Yeah,
your Doomfist right now has committed a ton of resources to this dive. He's committed
he
half his
did.
HP. He's committed all his cooldowns. He's committed positionally. So you feel like you owe him something, or you might feel like you might owe him to like keep him alive or whatever the case
Yeah,
may be,
exactly.
right? But I think again because because your Kiriko's dead, but B, this guy's just taking too much aggro. He's feeding in like every other Doomfist player does. I wouldn't again concern myself with that too much, right? And again, it's making that choice between do I go for the Widowmaker here? Do I Reddit or duel or
Hmm.
dive the Widowmaker here? Or do I help out and peel my Doomfist? And in this situation, I think Widowmaker's the fairly obvious choice.
Yeah, just gaining out awareness, just know when
Right,
I should maybe give up my teammates or like
right.
and see
Again,
who actually needs help, right?
I think at this moment, or like when you get here, or when you get booped by the Lucio, like when you already are in this position here to help you doing this, that's the moment in time where you need to again regain awareness of what's
Yeah,
going on.
okay.
And again, I think in again with the context of the situation, it's just better to go for Widowmaker. Generally, I
Yes.
also say as well, in terms of like your target priority, it's normally down to who's easiest to kill,
Yeah.
easiest to kill, and also who's the most dangerous. In which case, Widowmaker fulfills both of those things, right?
Yeah, exactly. But she's also very good at this map, so I was trying to go for her sometime, but she was just so far away. I had to kind of ignore her
Right,
most of the time.
and in that case, she might not be easy to get to,
Or I could
right?
just go right at full right at two. I was
Right.
doing quick play, but then I rank
Yeah.
competitive.
The whole Reddit thing is like you need to be really good mechanically at
Hmm.
doing it, and there's a whole like subsection like this running coach tricks or somewhere. There's all stuff other concepts that apply to Lucio, like in making sure that again you can permanently stay behind them even if you don't get direct dual value kills. Like you can
Hmm.
just permanently stay behind them and make them look at you, all that kind of stuff, and timing as well. There's a whole different skill set to that. But yeah, I think for the most part on your general playstyle, whenever you do see an opportunity to go and Widowmaker like this, then you can seize
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I can kill Widowmakers fairly easy.
Right,
My,
yeah.
my best mechanic with Lucio is his movement for sure. Not his aim. My aim is like 25% accuracy, 30, sometimes 35. It's not as bad. Could have been worse.
Yeah, it's interesting because like there was a I'm not sure if you know, but back in 2023 on the Florida Mayhem, the head coach for
Hmm.
that team, Gunba, I think he spoke on a Reddit thread about like why the Surma Jed, right? He was like I'm sure you know him, insane flex support Saudi Arabian
Yeah.
player. He trialed Surma Jed on Lucio, and he said that he was mechanically like one of the best Lucios he had.
Oh, really?
But because he didn't like make the correct macro decision in the correct moment, so again he'd make the wrong macro choice. He decided to not put Majed on Lucio because that was more important. So
Mm.
I don't think your aim is
Okay.
like as I can
But
maybe
that's
even dig it
probably
up
for
for you
yeah.
afterwards. But yeah, I have to pick up the Reddit thing of him
It's
saying
something. It's
that.
something I will get good like
Yeah, it will come
as
with
time
time,
goes on. Yeah.
right?
Right. Yeah.
Like passively when you're getting playing the game a little bit more. But I wouldn't worry too much about the aim because we're already seeing here, like again, the slight choice or the choice to not go for the Widowmaker here is actually more impactful than
Yeah. Yeah.
anything
For
mechanical.
sure.
But yeah, and hell, I'm not saying you have to like don't hit awful shots or whatever. The Genji's going on top of the Widowmaker. I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll get the
Anyways,
kill another way. Yeah. But yeah, it would
it
have been
was
a
just
nice.
using skill down too. So
Right. Yeah. Okay. Been unfortunate. But
then
yeah,
I
we'll
die.
see how his next fight pans out. Hopefully a little bit cleaner than the last fight with Kiriko dying. But we'll see.
That game I got carried. Not gonna lie. Not gonna. There's not gonna be a good place. Not gonna lie. There's another game I play a lot better. It was in Ilios. I know it's like a Lucio map, but it was a lot better, and I
Mm.
won.
Right, that'll be interesting to see like why. And why do you think you didn't play as well this game? Was it because of your like, general idea to support your teams a bit more?
I think because I was really trying to speed my teammates. I wasn't focused. I know Lucio is not about healing, but I still need my beats, right?
Right, right.
Anyways,
Yeah, yeah.
um, Lucio was getting the other enemy Lucio was getting a lot more beats than me, I think. Not only I was just trying to speed my teammates, I was dying because of it. I was just like getting mid of the teammates, the enemies, and I was dying because of it.
Right.
Um,
Um,
could it be the map too?
yeah, I
And
think,
maybe I
yeah,
was
probably.
tired.
Yeah. There's a ton of different factors that play into why you might have
Hmm.
inconsistencies in your play. I think the tired thing is one that people overlook a lot of the time because if you're tired, you're not gonna think or make the correct choice all the time, which is really important on
Yeah,
Lucio out of any character. But yeah, I think that the map thing. If you can play Lucio well on this map, I'm pretty sure you're gonna play
it's
him well on
hard.
his best maps or like on maps where it's easier to play Lucio for.
That's
Um,
what I want to learn,
mm,
cause I struggle a lot with payloads usually,
right.
or
Um,
like hybrids, and sometimes I vote them just so I can kind of practice.
right.
Sometimes, not Paraiso. Paraiso I don't vote for them, but I vote like King's Row or Shambali sometimes,
Right. Okay.
just so I can kind of get a handle of it. I'm getting better, but Paraiso is probably one of my worst maps.
Yeah.
I mean, any sniper map is also bad for Lucio. I don't really vote.
Yeah. I mean, as long as
Then
you
I go
can.
Kiriko.
Yeah. Yeah. Which makes sense. Obviously, it's a bit more flexible. But as long as you can
Hmm.
get comfortable on this map, then you should be good to go in the
Yeah,
future.
exactly.
Hopefully. So yeah. Okay. So Boop's good. Amp. I don't. I'm neither there nor
Yeah.
there about it because it's not necessary. Like, if you look at the aggression your Doom's taking, right? It's like, which I should probably have this turned off as well. You can just look at the aggression your Doom is taking. It's just Orion and maybe one
Just
other
Ryan, yeah.
character, right? And your Doom is not like 1 HP. If he's critical HP, I would be fine with this amp, but he's not. So I actually, again, the boop's just fine. I don't think you need anything more here. And that's kind of what I mean by aggression at the beginning. It's like how much aggression is going on. And clearly your Doom is not taking that much aggression that warrants an
Hmm.
amp. So you might want that to have that later, but we'll see. Okay. Okay, so
I
again
probably
here,
could use now, right?
right? So
My
yeah,
amp.
even so, exactly right, because here is where we
Hmm.
get into like the multitasking with Lucio, because you see what your Genji does, right over there, Mr. Genji
Yeah, I
man,
did.
right?
I
You
saw
could
him.
do, they go on.
Hmm? Yeah, you can say. You can
Yeah, I
say
was
it.
just gonna say, you could do two things at once, right? You could ward forward, amp heal is gonna get some healing onto the what's his name, Doomfist, but also
Doofus.
some healing onto your Genji here as well. And you can do two things at once. You can actually help
Yeah,
out
exactly.
your Doom
Hmm.
and also enable your Genji here. And it's not doing this or it's missing out that opportunity, which is gonna slightly cost you, right? And it's not like booping the Ryan's a bad thing, but it's again it's the reward is the kind of
Hmm.
thing that I'm worried about because
Um, not long ago, before I took like a break because I went for vacation, I was like Diamond 5, Platinum 1. I remember I was kind of afraid of using amps some situations.
right. Um,
Yeah, even imp speed, but also imp heals too sometimes because like long cooldown. Sometimes I kind of forget about it, and I would use like in the worst situations ever.
hmm.
Maybe this game I probably use like I was really trying to get like the amp value where I couldn't get any amp value.
Yeah, I mean, again, like it's just based on. I know you kind of want to build beat, especially when their losers building
Hmm.
it generally faster than you.
Yeah.
I think part of that, don't worry about it too much because obviously, like
Hmm.
a Reinhardt's gonna be taking more damage than a Doomfist because higher HP people and whatnot. And of
Hmm.
course he's on defense. He's got better map control. He can poke out a lot more, which again will gain him more ult charge
Yeah.
over the long term. So don't worry about it too much. I think it only
Okay.
starts to become like stuff like this, like the whole macro decision making becomes a bigger concern compared to building up beat fast. In
Okay.
the majority of cases, and in fact, that only becomes a prominent thing at team play. I wouldn't worry about it too much unless you're stacking or in a team environment. But
Hmm.
yeah, that missing out that Genji there, is kind of a little bit unfortunate. As again, you could have
Yeah, I probably
already
could have
been
got a
here.
Lucio.
Yeah, and help enable him right. Maybe you can poke at the
Hmm.
Widowmaker a little bit. Make. I mean, she's in a terrible position right now. You could
Yeah, she is.
legitimately engulf her from like three different angles at
Pretty
once.
sure Kiri calls us use Suzo, so
Right, and Suzu as well. So yeah, that could even be a slightly missed opportunity there. And you could
hmm,
even again go to your Genji maybe as well had you been there a little bit earlier to give him a little bit of healing. But
get
yeah,
us some off angles too.
exactly right. So yeah, slightly missed opportunity here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine kills 3, and then you can see your Genji dying there, right? So if I zoom out and see what you're going, I mean, your Genji's probably going to make a bad play, admittedly. But again, it's like because you're not here, his life becomes a lot harder. So we'll see what he does here. Okay, dash isn't amazing. He's on a good angle though.
You could have poked the Widow too.
Yeah,
I
so
think.
like, the fact that you're not there means that you can't. This is what I kind of
Yeah,
meant by like
I can
peeling
support
on.
him.
Exactly, right? You boop the Genji away, you amp heal this target, or you just heal this target passively. And then again, after you clear this Genji, then you can go for a different target, i.e. probably the Widowmaker here. You can even force point as well if you wanted to. But yeah, you got, and the grand scheme of things is you could help your Genji. Is the end all be all.
Yeah.
Instead of again poking your Reinhardts. Because frankly, fucking Life Weaver could have done that a little bit more effectively. But yeah. Okay. So we see this. Okay, we'll see here and now, right?
Trying to help my. Who died?
Your Cassidy, right? So
Oh, okay.
I think you see, okay, Cassidy is to the right. He gets one shot, so honestly, nothing. You do see him just there in a moment, so I don't think there's much you could have done there. I think you do also see a Kiriko will climb upwards, so I think that's fine. Yeah, I think what you do here reasonable, just a bit unfortunate. You're a tad bit too late. Fine. Okay. I'd actually move backwards here. I mean, this is micro at this point, right? But I'll just D-peek away and ward backwards like this, so you don't get shot by the Kiriko. Yeah.
Probably not take the whiff in 1-2. No?
Yeah. You end up dying there. That's unfortunate. Yeah. And is that fight, losing that fight there is kind of crazy because you killed the Ryan initially.
Yeah.
Right. So again, maybe
that game I got hard carried. Like we won that game because like the round 3 I think, the Genji and the Doomfist were going crazy on like they were not letting them get out of the spawn. It was crazy. I was with Kiriko at that moment.
Yeah.
Not on my proudest games, but
yeah, I think that's part.
That's why I chose this.
Right. Which is good actually because again, I think you contribute to losing that fight there because you just didn't help your Genji or you were a bit slow to go for your Genji and help him out. But yeah. Okay, we'll see here. I mean, spawn advantage is in your favor, so good thing at least. Ampule there is not terrible. We'll talk about the war in a moment, but Ampule here is relatively fine. I don't see your Kiriko. Even if Kiriko's here, right?
Yeah, my Kiriko's dead.
Yeah, your Kiriko's dead right now. Just died to Widowmaker. That even makes Ampules even more viable here. That's relatively fine. Okay. But again, it's like you don't need to be here to heal your Doomfist, you know?
Yeah,
you could be
makes sense.
up here or even warding up here and then amping heals around about here. You could be doing two things at once. Denying the space and booping anyone off or disabling the high ground while avoiding the Reinhardt, while helping out your Doomfist a little bit. Which would have been nice to see. You say you end up dying there.
And then I die.
Okay, let's see. Fingers crossed you guys don't get second anymore.
Nah, fuck you.
I don't think your Doom gets it because you're out of LOS.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Maybe he does get it. I'm actually not sure.
Like for a few seconds.
Yeah, because it says 2 on your character right now, and obviously there's Doomless to your Doomless in front of you, and also Cast right here as well. So I assume it's for like a little bit. It heals your Doomless a little bit.
Yeah, just for a second. It's like a mercy swing.
Yeah, like the what's it called grace period on
yeah, and then I tried to get a LOS again.
Right.
While riding back.
Yeah.
Then, yeah. See.
That's fine. I think you notice that the Genji gets nice, really good poop there, right? So again, good that you identify that, right? So you don't end up going with your Doomfist or looking at what he does. You go for the easiest.
Yeah, that time I realized that.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
I think it's a little bit slow, but I think this is relatively fine to be honest. It goes past you. I think this is about as good as you can get. So really good poop hit. Okay, still does anyways, which is unfortunate, but the attempt there is reasonable.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, we'll see. You did get one kill, so.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What do I do as a Lucio when I'm playing against Dive?
Against Dive. It depends what your comp is. Like if your comp's like a more ranged comp, like you're running like Ashe, Orisa, or there's like double hit scan Orisa comp or something like that, and maybe God forbid you're running a Mercy or any other like ranged supports. Generally, again, your goal is gonna be hard preventing or hard marking out their flankers. If you're playing in a dive mirror, then it's gonna be controlling the flanks 2v1ing where you can, supporting who's playing most aggressively, looking for a slight advantage in the side duel, things like that, basically.
Cause like the Ilios game I had, I was just surviving that whole game. I was just, I was playing Dead by Daylight. I'm not even joking. But I still had like a lot of damage and heal. But I was focusing on surviving. It kind of worked too.
Yeah, that thing is, if you're playing against a heavy, like a heavy poke comp, or like something that's
Hmm.
not even a poke necessarily, but something that's fairly immobile and can't chase you, like that is kind of invaluable because
Hmm.
again, you're drawing attention away
Yeah,
constantly.
I
Um,
see.
so yeah, staying alive is really important against those types of comps when you do run into them. But yeah, okay, we'll see here. All right, sure, nice timing. Sure, nice boot. Yeah, so far, really good fight. As long as you don't get pinned here, which
Hmm.
I don't think you will be. But I think so far, really good fight. Enable your Doomfist, water to a safe position, get a good angle as well, avoid the slam, and then boot people away while the Ryan
Hmm.
is trying to follow up on the slam. So really good fight, and barring the pin. But yeah, barring the pin, good fights.
We won that at least, I think.
You should win that,
I
hopefully.
believe.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, we do.
All right, let's see here. Okay. Okay, sure.
Trying to the widow,
So
but then
yeah, you
I
got
saw
a
the
little
Reinhardt
bit.
again.
So what should be the intention of going on Widowmaker here?
Honestly, I was just trying to one-shot her.
Right.
That was my
Yeah.
thought. I'm sure that was my thought.
Yeah.
That was my I'm sure.
Because it looks
Cause like she
like
was
it.
alone. She was
Um.
alone. I am speed.
Um.
And like with the no park
Oh
with the
yeah. Yeah.
Ranger.
Yeah. Makes
Yeah, I
sense.
was probably that's why I am this.
Yeah.
That's why I probably am.
The thing with that is that like your intention right here again should just be to prevent the Widowmaker from taking a good angle. Like just mark
Yeah.
her out and then just clear up point really. Because again, even if
It's not
she's
time to write it.
yeah, sometimes like it's in this situation where she knows you're coming from this exact same angle. Like if you shoot her again, D peek and then V peek again to keep chasing, she's gonna know where you are. So she can just again put down her line of sight onto the corner, and also she might just fuck off and play back a little bit as well. And you don't know
Yeah,
the
I didn't know
status of
that I
her,
was also there too.
right? And also sights as well, mind you. But yeah, like
Oh.
there's a few things that tell you that you know what, maybe it's not the time to commit for the kill.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, maybe your Doomfist is like the only thing here maybe that can help you out, but this is really your only trigger, the Doomfist going in here. But even then, I still wouldn't bother. You get down to 22 HP here, which is not ideal.
Yeah, then I tried to help my Doomfist.
Yeah, beat's okay if to help your Doomfist here. It's fairly fine.
Or everyone else does it, so I think it's fine.
Okay, or yeah, so you kind of do the
That was
classic.
kind of trash.
Yeah, you kind of do the classic dive thing where you go in and you don't have a planned escape.
Yep.
And then I would assume you end up dying because of this. So going in's fine, but again, is this Ryan killable?
No.
No, he's not.
Nope.
So you don't need
Remember,
to.
this is a horrible game.
Yeah,
I know.
you don't
I
need
got
to go
hard
all the way
carried.
into him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amp's fine, but nothing crazy or nothing ideal about this. Of course, that could have completely different. If the Ryan was 1 HP, that looks completely fine to me. But obviously he's not. I might get away with it because of the perk. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay. Sure. Clearing up points. Fine. Fine. Alright, nice.
We saw one. This point at least.
Okay. There we go. Get it. Nice. Okay. Amps, whatever. You'll get it back in eventually. Ah, here we go.
I could have at least sent for my Doomfist too.
Yeah, I can help what you're doing. It's fine. Okay. Sure. Fine. Okay. Fine. Fine. Sure. Okay, so like
Yeah, I
what,
got a little confused.
the actual idea of what you're doing here, which is marking and scouting, is completely fine. It's that you just do it in a slightly dangerous way. So that's fine, but just drop down and like wall right over here roughly. Underneath the
Yes.
high ground here essentially. Instead of again going out in open space. And hell, you could even maybe, if you know where Widowmaker's at, I wouldn't do it right now. But if you know where Widowmaker's at, you could even ward over here. Maybe sync up a dive with your Doomfist and your Tracer. Something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think I was trying to find her at that moment because of her shots.
Yeah,
over here.
yeah.
And
yeah.
that led me to go to the rest of her team.
But yeah, unfortunately, you end up being the first person dying, which is not ideal considering you're playing Lucio. But yeah, you do what I like to call a violets, which is you die first.
Yep.
But yeah.
I can
Okay.
imagine.
Well, we'll see what happens this fight. Okay.
He's my role model, that's why I'm just kidding.
I see. Makes sense. Okay, nice avoid. Okay. I think Boop's a little bit late here, so why didn't you whip him away immediately? Oh, you've already used it. What did you use it for?
Yeah. My boop. Here.
Okay, I think that's fine. Sure, sure. Fine.
I
And you
tried
whipped
to
him the
boop
second
him
you got it.
like
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
you know, but
That's
it
fine.
didn't work.
There's not too much you could do about that. That's fine. Nice boop. Cool. Okay. The high grounds. Sure. I don't know what the Ryan spawn camping. He's Ryan.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. Nice boop. Nice. Okay. So what should you do? I know you. I think you're typing here, maybe. Like after you kill Ryan.
Ah, no, I didn't type the whole game. I don't know
Cause
what it was. Maybe I was. Probably was my cat. I guess.
I see. I mean, it's unfortunate because now again, after you kill the Ryan, now is your time to again regain awareness about the fight and what's going on.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
because you drop off to the low ground, you can't see anything. And right now, there's like 3 different targets you could go on. Your Doom's right here, so you can do what he's gonna do, which is
Yeah.
continue to go in, and help support him. But you don't know that because you're on low ground, which is really unfortunate. So again, it's the visual cue. Whenever you do something or an action, then you regain awareness. But yeah, which is why this looks so scuffed.
Does it also include like whenever an enemy do something or
When you
or no?
what do you mean an enemy does something? I mean, do you mean like a
'Cause I
Genji
was
dashing in,
thinking
or like a Ryan shattering, or like something like that?
maybe I was just thinking about when Lucio booped me like back in the beginning.
Right, yeah. It's I guess like your intention there is, hey, I can still go to my Doom. It's just that the Lucio just boops me by proxy, right? Like
Okay,
you're gonna go to your Doom instead regardless of what the Lucio does. He just kind of helps you inadvertently. So yeah, that's kind of what.
Alright.
But yeah, you are right in that again. There are things the enemy team can do that act as their own sort of again a moment to regain awareness in the fight, and whatnot. So that's perfectly reasonable. But yeah. Like a Ryan Chester, for example, right? That would be an example. But yeah. Okay. And yeah, you're doing a Kiriko, which is fine. Sure. It's fine. Sure.
I'll probably going to for the Widow.
Yeah, I'll go for the Widow. Right, fine. Sure. Fine. Go top left, maybe? Maybe. Oh my god. You get that eventually. Again, it's just scary, right? It's kind of why I wanted you to be, you get here eventually, right? But it's why I wanted you to be here from the get-go, because it's just a nice safe angle you can play that the Ryan can't reach. You can still help out your team just a little bits as well if he plays in your aura. Yeah, I would have just gone here straight away. And it's not the first time that you've kind of done like a very front to back kind of play. You did this when you had beat in your very first beat. You kind of entered on the Ryan. What was the intention again? Like, what's causing you to go straight in like this?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Is it greed, like the fact that you think you can get away with this, or
I guess so, because usually sometimes when I play with a Doomfist my team against a Reinhardt, usually I win.
right?
Maybe because I was thinking, oh, I can get away with it.
Right.
Because my
Oh,
Doomfist,
right.
maybe could
Is
have that. I think I was also a little bit tired.
yeah, and then you're making
So
more
my
sloppy
decision
choices.
making.
Right.
Mhm.
I think that thing that you said about getting away with it happens so much because like the
Yeah.
most extreme example that I often give is I used to coach, or I had coached a bronze Reinhardt a few years ago, and he would always pit into the enemy backline, and 9 times out of 10
Mm.
or half the time he would get a kill for it, or he'd get some kind of value, he'd get away with it. And I had to ask him, why do you keep pinning in? And it's like, because I get rewarded for it half the time. So when you get away with it, or when you do something that on paper or in principle isn't a good idea, which is hinting into this Reinhardt, but you get away with it, or you get rewarded for it, you're gonna be more inclined to repeat it again and again and again. So it's not necessarily a
I
shock
see.
to me, right, that you can get away with this, because you do get away with this, right? But in other
Yeah, I'm doing.
games, or against a better Reinhardt player, or against a better team on a higher rank, you don't get away with this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a game with, I think it was Diamond 3 or Diamond 2 to Masters 4 or 5.
Mm,
Usually I don't win the Masters game, so usually I don't win Masters game. When it's just like Diamond 2 to Diamond 1, I usually win. Or it's like a
Interesting.
very 50-50 game. Yeah, I'm not close to Masters level because whenever I go against Masters, I or lose or I get carried.
Hmm.
That's what I. That's what I. That's what happens.
Yeah, and I feel like some of the time as well, you might whenever you feel like you're doing nothing. I've had this with other players as well.
Hmm.
They feel more inclined to start carrying, or they still take riskier plays because they feel like they're not doing that much. Those are really good
Yeah.
quotes about it, like in some sort of coaching book. Like maybe again I'll link it to you afterwards or something.
All right.
But where people get like really, they'll either get really greedy, like this for example, or they'll play really passive when they're not playing well. And of course, in this end, you're doing the former. But yeah, would have been sad to see you die here. In other words, because
Hmm.
you've got ults and you've got set up for the next fight. But yeah, okay, we'll see here. Right. Okay. Look, and I'm not a massive fan of your setup here. Right, where should you be set up
Hmm.
instead?
Probably in high ground, close to
Yes.
my Doomfist somehow.
Yeah. So I'd
Contesting high
say,
ground, I guess.
yeah,
Or with my cast, I guess. Where is he?
he's probably a little bit backwards, like a little bit. Yeah,
Oh,
on the
never
high
mind.
ground
Oh, I
now.
thought it was. Hmm.
He's walking out here. So yeah, I think yeah, I mean here would be ideal, right? You can deny this angle.
Yeah, that's
You
what I
can
thought. Yeah.
go on Kiri. Your aura can barely reach. You do this if you try. I think, and you're very safe as well. You have got cover here. You have got distance as well here. If anyone comes up, you've got awareness or you've got time to react. So that'll be the most ideal position to play. Of course, just
Hmm.
be wary of like a Widowmaker peeking here or something. But barring that, I think this is again a pretty sound position to start off with. Yeah, you try. Yeah, you get it eventually, which is good.
A little bit late.
Okay.
And I probably beat it just because Lucio beat too.
Beats, yeah, right. So again, this is a thing where so how do I say it? Not in
Also, yeah,
principle.
can I say something?
Yeah, go on.
It's very fast. Now that I'm Diamond 3, almost Masters, there's so many Lucios now. I was
Right,
like, that's
okay.
not something I'm not used to. I don't play against a lot of Lucios, and it's something very new to me. So when I beat sometimes too. I don't know when to do
Right. Yeah, it's
because now
good.
Lucio's kind of.
Yeah,
You
it's
get what I mean?
I kind of get what you mean. I think
Hmm.
that I've seen before where losers will just match beats.
Hmm.
It's a safe bet, but because again you're just using one for one, it can't be that bad. But in this situation here, not even situation, right? It's just before you beat, what should you do?
Maybe check for where my teammates
Like
are,
check
if
where your
they're
teammates
probably
are, right?
dying,
What
or
they're doing, how much aggro are
if
they
they're going for a
taking?
play too.
Exactly, right? Because like if, for example, like this beat ends up being, actually this beat ends up being fine, give or take. It hits everyone, right?
Everyone got it, but
Ryan's really low right now. Like it's fine. It's a fine beat. It just allows your team to play a little bit more aggressively. But again, you don't need it, right? Your cast is actually
mhm,
fairly fine. He's full HP. I think once again you see your cast taking tons of aggression. So for example, he could roll off the high grounds, and maybe the Rhino
yes.
walks onto him in Kitsune if he gets really low. Then you can start. Then you can like again think about beating. Or if your Doomfist is playing a really doing a really aggro play onto the Widowmaker, then you can think about beating.
Yeah.
Or some again as you said, right, the Genji blading, then you can think about beating.
Mhm.
But the beat is just fine. It's whatever. It's not a blunder, but it could definitely be saved or at least milked out for a little bit longer until the enemy team start to use again another ultimate
Okay.
or something. But yeah, again, it's that regain awareness thing where you look around so you know whether beating's an appropriate choice or not. Okay.
No, that's a funny thing, honestly. 3 people go out against Widow,
Yeah, and then the
and the
grapples
rest of the
away
team
immediately.
dies.
Yeah.
Min Tracer just missing half
Sure.
our shots.
Yeah, I mean, there's micro that I could talk about here, to be honest. I'm not gonna cry about it too much, but again, your team dying there. I know
Mhm.
beat kind of enables you to sort of go onto the enemy Widowmaker, but we can play this backwards here, and then say what you could have done if you just stayed high ground and didn't beat. Bits, a bit
Staying high
more.
ground wouldn't it be?
Well, not necessarily stay high ground, but as in like just regain awareness or just look what's
Oh,
happening,
okay,
right?
okay, yeah, yeah,
So
for sure, for sure.
like stay here,
I
right,
get
and
it.
then look around, right? So what's going on? So the Genji's doing something, but he's not that aggressive right now. You could honestly ward around the Genji, maybe deny him out. That could be fine. Maybe you could look for some sort of denial onto again. You could look for follow up on the Reinhardt. That could be fine as well. You could even do two things at once, right? You could even wall ride over to your Cassidy, boop the Rhino away, so you're helping out your Doomfist and also helping out your Cassidy here. That's probably the best thing
Mhm.
you can do. And if the cast gets
Yeah,
low, then you beat. Or if your cast takes aggression, I should say, then you beat. But yeah.
And I supported the wrong person too, cause like I think my Tracer was fine against the Widow. She had pulls too, so if she wanted to,
Yeah, yeah.
it was a free kill. Going to the Widow was just greedy out of me.
Also, as well, is the Widow say you were again you were to do that, right, and help out the Ryan or kill the Ryan and help out
Hmm.
your cast, right? Is the Widowmaker actually that dangerous?
No,
No. Why is she not that
I went
dangerous?
there just for the clip. I
Right.
know I
Yeah.
went for the just for the clip. I
um,
know.
because she has no LOS. What's going on?
Nope.
She can't see anything. She's good as useless right now, and also is
Hmm.
being marked by your tracer. So this is also a really important thing as well. When I tell tank players whether they should essentially when a dive goes on, right? If their backline's being dove and you're playing like a Reinhardt or something, do you pin
Hmm.
backwards or do you stand still and sort of zone the backline? But if the backline's going to be useless and the backline's not going to see anything, you can pin behind and do whatever you want. And it's
Yeah,
kind of the same thing here, where if this person's useless, ignore them. Who cares? Just look around and
exactly.
look at the more aggressive targets here. And look at how maybe again speed in your cast, kill the Reinhardt here, enable your Doomfist a little bit more. Which again would have been more ideal here.
Hmm.
But yeah, that could have been quite nice. And yeah, a beat there if you the Reinhardt counterpins your Doomfist there. A beat there actually would have been reasonable. Your Doom's gonna get a little bit low. Half HP, punches in. Yeah, a beat there would have been great. But yeah, Genji's also very low too, not to mention.
So everything I do, just get runners, look around,
Right.
see who actually needs help and who actually needs to be dead, right?
Yeah. I think that's the
Okay.
key thing because like again, it's the target priority of it's what you're prioritizing on Lucio, and right now in the last fight that we just saw, well, just generally you're prioritizing the greedy play, either catching the Reinhardt or pushing forward, or catching and going with the clip on the Widowmaker,
Hmm.
or something along
Well,
those lines.
I'll jokes aside, but I also got a little excited because I was playing with Tracer, and I wanted to enable her, but she
Right.
would be
Right.
fine too.
Right,
That's the thing.
she would be fine. She doesn't necessarily need your help as much as
Yeah.
someone like a Cass or considering the Reinhardt's low, your Doomfist as well. That's important. In fact, you had no idea what's going on behind you because you just decided to go for the first
Hmm.
target in front of you. You know, I think that's also the key point as well. It's like you have you didn't even look, you didn't even consider what's going on behind you. You know, at least if you
Yeah.
considered it, then I would have been like, okay, maybe I can see some sort of argument for that. But that's the point. It's that you don't consider what's going on here. Is the key awareness factor. And again, I see it on main sports way too often.
Hmm.
But yeah. Okay, we'll see this fight here. All right. Well, okay, your team's all okay. I thought you were gonna soft reset here, but your team's getting pushed to the brim. Um, see why that may be. Okay, your Doom punches in, gets pinned. There's not much you can do about that, sadly.
Yeah.
Apart from not die. Oh my god. Yeah, wouldn't have gone through that, but whatever. Okay, Kiriko just dies. Free kill. Okay. Okay, sure. I don't actually mind this, like forcing Cart a little bit, forcing the Genji to come
Hmm.
near you. I don't necessarily mind that. I think that's
I
fairly okay.
think I went to check if I could beat Reinhardt maybe.
Right, okay. I see what you mean
That's
here.
what I did.
Okay, and now
And
we're
then
getting a
yeah.
little bit
Hmm.
scuffed. So again, that's
I
again
used
forcing
them
Cart
for no
is fine.
reason. Hmm.
Right. Amp's is not great. And actually, honestly, I probably would have kept the angle here. I would have just denied the Genji the entire time. Maybe even
Oh,
more it
like
up to
mark
here.
him?
Yeah, like mark him essentially,
Okay.
yeah. Deny his angle. Again, there's not too much you could do about a Ryan slam or Ryan in the slam animation. Of course, ideally, you would wall right here and try and deny him and whatnot. But your Doom's
Hmm.
front to backing for basically no reason. He's matching a Reinhardt for no reason. So, hopefully, maybe you can get a little boop here, but we'll see. Okay, boop's nice. Okay, Reinhardt ends up dying there. And here you'd love to use Amp. Okay. Tank trade for trade. Okay. Coming out. And you try and go for the boop. So, not too much you could have done about the blade there either. I mean, again,
Hmm.
there's Michael that could have been done there. The boop could have been a little bit better.
Maybe just me not being there at the moment because I
Yeah,
was alone
right.
too.
I think the Lucio being low is not enough of a trigger. But yeah. Okay, we'll see here on defense where your DPS or your Doom and your Genji carry.
Yeah. And then I switched to Kiriko.
Why did you go to Kiriko here?
Honestly, because I was just not doing well with Lucio, and I don't think Lucio in Life Riv is the best backline. So
Fair enough, yeah, sure. Okay, we'll see here then. Alright. Okay.
I don't have as much experience with Kiriko than Lucio, so
Sure, yeah.
I have like almost 400 hours on Lucio and like maybe 20 on Kiriko or less. And I play most of it on quick play, I think.
Okay, okay.
So
Good to know. Yeah, I mean, playing Kiriko's fine here. So far, nothing crazy. I think
yep.
if you wanna, I don't mind staying here, and then you can TP out, whatever the case may be. If anything, I actually want you to stay here a little bit longer, as in like
Yeah.
play the back stairs here basically, and become
So
harder
can
to
DPS
reach.
a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Right. I often say to players as well, if the Genji wants to come and clear you here, or the enemy Genji, he wants to come and clear you from these stairs, would he be taking some risk on doing that?
He would.
He would, right? He'd be walking straight in front of your Genji and your Doomfist, which makes you safe, right? It makes your character safe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing about whenever you do take these angles, it's also an important factor when you're just flanking on Kiriko in general. That's something that's really important to be aware of. Okay. Alright. Hey, Dink's nice, sure. I don't hate you dropping down there.
Yeah, they spawn holder. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Fine. Okay, sure. Okay. Have you got, it looks like you've got toggle on your Fuda instead of hold. What's your
Toggle?
settings
Oh,
on
yeah.
Fuda?
Let me check. I'm in game 2, so. It is toggle healing a Fuda on.
Yeah, I think I have. I know this is a new account, so this should probably be off as well. The reason why you don't want it on is that you can see right now, run about here, you're kind of healing nothing, right? Like you kind of heal you're healing like again in the room here a little bit. That's why you don't really want it on.
Oh yeah, I see.
And then you're using all your food for no reason here essentially. So that's why you normally have it on hold. So again, you can cancel it to like around about here, and then start shooting. A little bit of micro there, but yeah. Okay. See here. Okay, so like I know why you try and do this, right?
Yeah, get an off angle maybe.
Yeah, the off angle's fine here, right? Do you need to walk forward here?
Probably not.
No, right? Just play this cover here, and then peek around the corner, and just shoot your kunais back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Right? It just makes your character safer instead of having to walk out in the open and get traded or threatened or get vulnerable from the trade here. Thankfully your Genji's here with you.
But yeah, it's probably because I was playing like a Lucio too, so like get closer to my shots.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, okay. Let's see here. Let's see here again. I should drop the high grounds.
Wait, I think that was a good Suzo too. I think that was like the only good thing I did this whole game. That Suzo alone.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the Suzu itself is kind of like, again, it's based on the aggro that you can see that your team's taking. Right now, you saw your Doom and your Genji were critical HP to the wall. They're taking some amount of aggro. You saw the Ryan pin you off almost and fire strike you off the high grounds. So you know he's gonna be there. Like Suzuing these targets are gonna be fairly fine, regardless of what you do.
Yes.
So yeah, I think my only issue is the TP Suzu. Again, I think it's kind of a dominoes thing where
I get no cooldowns.
Yeah, right, you walk forward. The Rhino comes at you. You take fire strike. You're forced to drop down. Of course, you're forced to drop down. You're forced to TP up, and then Suzu in. It becomes a little bit hectic and a little bit of a dominoes effect. But yeah. Just playing these angles safer is really the main thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this time I just wanted to help my teammates somehow. I was just feeling pretty useless here.
Right.
So.
I mean, you are on the counter to do that to be fair. But yeah.
Yeah, the stacks were. The gap was insane, man.
Alright.
I never had such a gap in my life.
Alright, we'll see this fight. Okay, Cass is like doing things, sure. I don't be doing that much. Sure. Again, I want you to play the roundabouts.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
Slightly better angle, slight off angle as well. You can drop down and shoot here as well and then walk line
where
up.
should he stay with Kiri? Like usually?
So
like usually Lucio close to my teammates.
Right.
That's fair, but with Kiriko I'm not really sure.
So
with them too.
Ideally, whenever you can, like Awkward has this like 4-step plan on Kiriko, where it's like you heal a little bit, You take a north angle, you steal on the angle, and you TP back and heal, and you rinse and repeat or something like that. That's fine. Normally I say, how do I say it? Ideally, playing a position that gives you an angle, but also allows you to see the rest of your team or see your Genji, right?
Okay,
So,
I see.
for example, right, it's kind of just off the top of my head. Like for example, maybe you're playing this exact same comp on Blizzard World Attack. Your Genji goes through the right side room by the Mega and wants to flank all the way around. Then you can like go with him essentially, and flank with him because you can still see what he's doing. That's would be an example there. What's another case of it? I mean, again, same sort of idea. Of course, on defense here, there's not going to be an angle that your Genji can take that you can't take because there's only one angle here. Right? It's like it's just one straight line basically. There's not really like a wide flank you can take.
That angle there is not an angle I take usually, because when I take it, there's not many enemies that appear on my screen.
Right. Yeah,
But
I mean,
I know why. I know why probably a good angle, because if someone comes to contest me or just deny me, I can just TP away. And I
yeah.
can still deal damage too. I see why.
So that's where again, I'm not saying that you have to play that all the time, obviously. Part of it is also down to your comp as well. As in,
Oh,
like how do I say it? Oh yeah, like mainly because you're running Life Weaver. You can play really like hyper aggressive because its grip essentially allows
oh
you
yeah,
to
he can
do.
keep on me. Yeah.
Yeah, he can partially pull you because of that. But B, he'll be in charge of most of the healing anyways. So you have a little bit more leeway to enable your Genji and play these slightly more aggressive angles in the first place. Of course,
Okay,
if you're
good to know.
playing like Lucio Kiri and you're the Kiri player in that situation, you're gonna be playing a little bit more passively anyways. But yeah, that's also part of the reason here too. But yeah, okay, we'll see here. Okay, all right. Okay. Yeah,
Oh, I
we're
end
going
up
here
getting the
eventually,
angle.
okay. A little bit heal heavy here, I will say. And generally, again, you're healing a lot here. I'm sure you know
Yeah, when I
the
don't need to.
yeah, the interweaving, right? You do like one full of Fuda and then two kunai, and then one full of Fuda, two kunai, two kunai, and then you rinse and repeat basically.
Okay.
So you interweave your healing and damage. Which you could have done there. This is fine, and this is the important. I like this Yuzu a lot actually. Because even though your
Kobe.
Genji, like before you throw it, your Genji is actually not critical HP. You throw it based on the aggression he's taking, which is the Reinhardt swing and the Lucio. So that's why I like this Yuzu, and I think that's important. It's not just HP; it's how much aggression is the target taking, and that's why that Yuzu is actually fairly good. Nice Yuzu. TP's fine. Would have walked on him though, would have been fine, but that's fine. Okay. Door. Okay. Fine. Okay. Fuck's fine. Okay. Oh, yeah, I can see
wanted to
what
go
you
for
tried
the
to do.
Doomfist.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he got stuck on a Life River.
Okay. Why did he drop it?
Honestly, I don't know. Let me think. Probably because of the rain. The Doomfist got pinned down.
And actually,
And maybe get an angle on Genji.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
maybe we'll get an angle on enemies or something like that.
What do you think about this angle?
Not very good.
Why do you
I
think it's
can
not very
at
good?
least see Genji and Lucio. What? Sorry?
Why do you think it's not very good?
Just I'm down.
Why else maybe? Or do you think it's actually a good angle? Now that you think about it a bit more.
Maybe on top of the bus.
Right, so maybe the boss is actually a bit better because Reinhardt can't reach you, right? But I actually think this angle's fairly okay, right? It's not the best.
Okay.
I think a little bit here would be a bit better, so you've got a bit more distance against Ryan. But the actual angle itself is fine. It's basically
Okay.
a more aggressive
Just a
version of
high
staying
ground?
here, basically, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't actually mind you pushing here a little bit. And there's also attention that's onto your Doomfist, right? Nobody is looking at you right now. They're looking at your Doom getting pinned.
Yeah.
And your Genji here too. So I don't mind the angle here. And actually, I don't think you need to leave. Really, you can walk backwards a little bit. If you want to help your Doomfist, that's fine. You can just, sure, you can walk him up and TP back to him, right? But I don't think you need to help your Doomfist, really. Your Doom's actually going straight back in right now. So I actually think again, it's the aggression that is the important thing, not necessarily the position you're in, and I say this to a lot of
Okay.
players, right? Where even though you're playing like a fairly aggressive angle, all things considered, you're not actually putting yourself at danger. I think that's really important, and I think
Yeah.
you feel compelled to TP back here for some reason. When in actuality, you don't really need to TP back, right? And actually, if you stayed there, you probably would help your Doomfist a little bit more. You probably would have got some kunos onto the Genji,
Yeah.
all that kind of good stuff, right? So just because you're playing aggressively does not mean you need to leave an angle. That applies to Lucio. That applies to any character in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah. And here you're S-keying out. You're S-keying away from your Doom, and I'm like, where's the aggro? There's not Orion swinging on top of your Doomfist, and even if there was, he's not looking at you. He's looking at your Doomfist, right? Like, I don't think there's no aggro that's telling you to back up here.
That's true. I think I was trying to just get back to the high ground too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, don't be so, not necessarily fooled, right? But don't be so compelled about high grounds, because you can walk forward here, and I can still enable. Look at your screen, right? Look at what you can see. You can enable your Genji Doom, who are literally spawn camping right now. And also, if you want to play high ground, you can still W key forward and still wall climb over here and get the high ground anyways. And play a little bit wider, you know. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Okay. 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 I think the Susie's not amazing, obviously. I mean, you miss it, right? But I think your Genji's also full HP too, right? If I back it up here. Right, your Genji's like full HP in tree right now, he'll be fine. I didn't think he needs Suzu. If he was lower HP, then I think that would have been fine. Okay.
I'm sure that moment I was very confused what was going on.
Yeah.
You know when you're just confused and you just try to do something?
Right, yeah. Okay. Let me look at this positioning here again.
I was playing very passively now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe because I was dying a lot on Lucio, I was very worried about my
potentially
KDA.
Right. And again, it's like, why? There's no reason for it, right? There's no objective reason as to why.
Yeah, we're literally small camping too. So.
Yeah. And your cast is fine. He's perfectly fine, right? He's not taking any aggression right now. Your Genji's the one that needs help right now, but again, you can't see him because you're playing far away. And even again, you can forget about healing for just a moment, right? If your Genji's drawing all the aggro, which he's drawing all the aggro right now, that gives you an opening to do damage. That gives you an opening to use kunais to again carry the fight. So again, not reacting based off what your team's doing, or your aggression is desynced from your team. Good grip from your Weaver, thankfully. Yeah, massive, like, again, healing. Suzu's okay. Kasuna's okay. TP's fine. I will just walk on to the top right to avoid the Kiriko. Yeah, that's why I would walk climb, right?
Okay, yeah.
You know, just things are saying, right? Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should, right? So just because you can TP.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
That's something else I'm trying to do with Lucio, because Lucio's movement is so fun, everyone knows, but that messes up his aim so much.
Yeah,
and that's something I'm trying to do with Lucio too.
It's something that Mercies do as well, where like there's so much movement on the Mercy that like they'll do some like fancy tech and then they'll jeopardize their own safety for it, which is not ideal, obviously. But yeah, a very simple wall climb here would have been more than fine.
Exactly.
But yeah, okay. Again, I think that comes down to again regaining awareness on what's going on. Okay. Because you're having to like do some crazy duel against Genji, right? And which you're winning, but you don't. The point being is that you shouldn't need to take this duel. Again, had even high ground, and you end up dying anyways.
And I die.
Yeah. If you
that's the part. So. That's the point. I think I die like twice in a row, and we somehow won anyways.
Yeah.
I was so confused.
Your Doom Genji came back quickly, I think. Yeah. Suzu's fine. Okay. And nice that you're staying on the angle. Fine. Okay, so look at who you're shooting here for the time being. Right, so Genji Skin Blade. Right. Okay. Again, that's the small thing, right? Because Lucio is actually a fine target to shoot. Probably the best target to shoot right now. In open space, more ahead than his Kiriko, so a little bit easy to hit too.
His movement is also very predictable this time. At that time.
Yeah. I think again you can see the whole toggle thing being a little bit annoying, right? Because I don't mind you looking at you're looking at your Weaver's good. This means that you are regaining awareness, right? Like you're looking at the Weaver. You're trying to look to find the Weaver and then see what he's doing, right? But again, because you're currently in a food animation right now, which is not ideal, because he's full HP. But yeah, okay. Okay, just not Weather Iron. Good by the Weaver. Yeah, it's a little bit bamboozled there at the ends.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Vine Pin is sort of the big visual cue when you don't see him on your screen. Okay, I think you died there, yeah.
I
I
did.
think your team do clutch her eventually.
They
Yes,
do.
yeah, yeah.
I'm trying
Okay.
to DP, but
Yeah, yeah.
and we somehow won. So
Nice thing. That's probably gonna be clean up. Okay, you do the plat
and they
thing.
still die.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So the plat thing is you
What
see
is
an
that?
enemy and you walk forward, right? You
Mm.
can damage the Lucio just like just where you are right now. You can damage the Lucio, but be way safer. You can even wall climb over here and still damage the Lucio as you are right now. He's also
Mhm.
going to be unlikely to get cap, right? And he's Lucio, he's a single person. If Doom's punching back, he's not going to get cap. So the fact that you
Okay.
die there is really not great. You're just putting yourself in danger for no reason. So yeah, again, maybe a Lucio habit that you do often.
Yeah, for the Reddit.
Probably, yeah.
Mostly. Get closer to.
And that should be the fight. Okay, we'll do a quick summary at the end. We'll use this wall here. Okay, I think by far and away
Alright.
first thing has to be just regaining awareness.
Awareness. Alright.
In the mid fights, which again, when looks like X. X stands for some kind of action, right? Something happens.
Okay, okay.
And when X happens, I look around. Ooh, look around. And I think a lot of the time too, I think you're smart enough to know who to go for and who to help and what's killable,
Yeah,
what's not.
usually it can. It's just that that game was just my worst game of the month, probably. That's why I
Yeah.
chose it too.
And if you're tired as well, I'll say this: if you're tired as well, then don't
I was.
try not to play because it's really important that you are able to make
Yeah.
that choice quickly or on the fly. But yeah, I think that's really important. So I think that could be again a kill. A kill is really obvious. Kill's the biggest one. That could be a kill. That could be some sort of positional commitment. So again, you wall riding to someone. That could be, as an example, an ultimate being used, right? So a blade, for example, or a shatter, right? Or a doom ultimate, or whatever the case may be. That could also be, I mean, you booping away a target, right? It could be a cooldown of you. I'll just say cooldown, not just boop. I'll say a cooldown. Similar with Brig. Again, on Brig, it was like, when you whip shot someone, look around. When you bash, look around.
Okay.
When you hack someone, look around. It's a very similar thing that I would apply to Lucio.
Brig
but
is also
yeah.
another character I wanted to learn. Cause like I'm gonna make go now is just like get masters in this account, and then create another account where I can't play Lucio. I just can't play Lucio. So I wanna be a good supporter main. You know what I mean?
Right,
Not
right.
just an OTP.
I think I wouldn't try not to split your playtime too much beyond Kiriko, and also
Oh,
Lucio
okay.
Brig as well. Like I would just probably. I mean, it depends what you want to do, right? But maybe Brig's like a more long-term kind of thing where you can sort of push that down for like a month, and then for now you can work on your Lucio and your Kiri for the most part.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, the reason why the analogy I like using is say you're learning the violin for a week, and then the week after you learn like the cello, and then the week after
Yeah.
you learn like the double bass, and it's like sure you may have learned something on across these three instruments, but you would have made more progress had you just learnt the violin across all 3 weeks. And you would have just made more progress on the violin had you done that. And it's kind of the same thing when it comes to learning characters in Overwatch, where sure there's going to be things that transfer from the violin to the cello, and there'll be skills that transfer from hero to hero, right? But if you want to make maximum progress on a hero, focus on improving that one character. I.e., in this
Okay.
case, it would probably be Lucio. Then I think Kiriko that can be like a side pick or whatever.
Yeah.
On other maps. But yeah. Second thing I'll say is I'll say like it's decision making based on aggression.
Okay.
Decision making based aggression. So like for example, I think that fight on second point attack where you decided to raid it on the Widowmaker instead of again
Mhm.
helping out your casts instead of casts and Doom. And I think that's something to help you with decision making too. Is again how dangerous is a target, is also insert character, insert a target, hero, and how easy is it to kill that
Mhm.
target as well. Is it to again kill, do something? I think this doesn't apply just for targets as well. It also applies for like
Mhm.
playstyles too. So for example, how easy is it
Yeah, yeah.
to heal a Genji, for example, right? Like we saw when the cast dropped off because of the Genji. Or how easy is it to peel your Ryan or your Doomfist when he gets slammed by a
Mhm.
Ryan or something like that. But yeah. And the third thing, we'll say this will be more Kiriko specific on this one. But we'll say
Yeah,
like
yeah. Good.
aggression, I thought aggressive but safe kind of idea. I think also applies to Lucio as well.
Mhm.
Again, we can saw again fast points, excessively passive, too passive, and actually we saw some of the time too, where like you were playing like for example that literally that fight there where you were walking straight into the Lucio. That's an example where
Yeah.
you're playing dangerously and aggressively. But again, those two ideas don't have to be overlapped. You can have aggressive plays that are done in a safe manner. The
Okay.
way you do that is again, ideally cover some kind of distance that you want to have as well. A TP targets, making sure that I like the idea I referred to about making sure that if someone wants to clear you, they're putting themselves at risk. I call that idea risk baiting.
Okay.
Um,
Risk baiting.
yeah, so you're baiting them
Oh,
to sort of
interesting.
take a risk basically, to come and clear
Especially
you
with
out.
Kiriko too, yeah.
And because you
Or
can, yeah,
Lucio too.
exactly, right? Because you can just TP out and who cares?
Mhm.
It's a similar thing on Warrior too. But yeah, that's something that's also really important as well. And what else? I'll mention briefly. I'll mention like comp or like comp adaptation. Something that we didn't talk about that much, but I'm tagging it on to the end here because if you're playing,
Mhm.
and you kind of asked me the question midway through that as well. But if you're playing like Kiriko
Against
into,
dive or
yeah, right. Like for literally, like if you're playing Kiriko against Dive, right, you're gonna be
Mhm.
less so taking those super aggressive angles because you can get
Yeah,
cleared
yeah.
out really easily. Of course, you'll still take those angles anyways when it's late into the fight and they haven't got their cooldowns. Maybe their Doomfist is low HP and he's punched
It
out.
may be heavily risk baiting too, right?
Yeah, exactly, right. That kind of
Mhm.
thing too. And then your teammate's gonna sort of help you there as well. But yeah. Those would be the three key points for now. Any other questions or
Okay.
queries that you may have?
Um, I don't know.
If not, then of course you can DM me anytime, if you're on the spot or anything. Um,
All right, sure.
Coolio. All right. I've
All
also
right.
recorded the session too, so you can rewatch it at your spare
All
pace.
right, thank you.
I'll link it to you after it's done uploading, which should be in a few days, a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, so you can rewatch it at your spare pace. I heard you typing there at the
All
end,
right.
so I know you took some notes. But
Yeah, I did. I did.
yeah, that's good to hear. Most people do that anyways, but yeah. But barring
Mhm.
that, good luck climbing, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
see ya.
See ya. Have a good day.